In beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah, here at DNA HQ. What's going on, AJ?
What up? What up?
How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, especially now that you said my fantasy baseball team's good.
Yeah, dude. It's stacked, dude. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of Padres on there, but it's the good ones, you know? Except for Xander Bogaerts. That one's going to hurt. But other than that, it's a good team. He'll get you some points, though, for sure. That's pretty awesome, man. Pretty awesome. Yeah. So that's pretty good. Well, first of all, folks, again, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the DNA Sports Recap on this week of the live stream. We're going to be talking a little bit of college football. Spring ball is here. We're going to talk a little bit about Utah Hockey Club and talk about basically, you know, with them kind of on the outside looking in. It's not time to give up hope, except it is. And then we're going to have some other talks about the future of the team and what the commissioner said about us potentially having an outside game. So that'll be fun. We're also going to break down a little bit about Utah Jazz basketball, and obviously we have Major League Baseball starting next sleep, basically tomorrow. We're
tomorrow, one sleep.
Yeah, one sleep till Major League Baseball. I mean, my Dodgers are already 2-0, so they're off to a good start. But the rest of the league starts tomorrow, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good day of baseball. So
go
hopefully,
Braves.
Call in sick, go watch some baseball. That's what's going to happen.
Everybody do it.
That's what's going to happen, man. What you got to do. Opening day tradition. But yeah, man. Other than that, you got anything else?
No. I'm ready to get into. Hold on.
What's going on over here?
Oh.
So you got a lazy cord there.
Okay. I'm ready to get into this shit.
All right, let's do it. Okay, before we get started, pre-show cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to you guys.
Okay, so get up here in the comments. Once again, folks, if you're watching this on our live stream, this is a live show, so feel free to jump into the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. AJ wants to know your favorite color and your favorite Power Ranger.
Oh, yes. Yes, and if it's not the Green Ranger, don't say anything.
The White Ranger, dude. Come on now.
Yeah, but he turns into the White Ranger.
Yeah.
But the Green Ranger was still the coolest one when he was there.
I don't know. It's the same dude.
It is, but he was cooler as the Green Ranger.
You think he's cooler as the Green Ranger than
because he was like part evil when he was the Green Ranger.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, then he like purified and went all White Ranger on it. But oh man,
he went all what's the word? What's that guy? You shall not pass guy. He went all Gandalf on.
Yeah, exactly. But then he had the cool flute. He's like, doo, doo, doo. Yeah,
dude. You know they make that?
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. They make one.
Oh my gosh, dude. How am I missing all this stuff in my life?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's actually really disappointing.
Did you know the original Black Ranger had like part of his finger missing the whole show?
Yeah.
That blew my mind when I saw that. I'm like, what?
Yeah. There's all kinds of crazy things about the Power Rangers. I mean, you think it came out in the early 90s, dude. That was like 3 lifetimes ago.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And all those people are crazy old now.
Did you know we are now the exact same time away from the Star Wars prequels as in the year 2000s. In the year 2000, you were away from the original Star Wars movie.
No way.
Yeah, like those 3.
Yeah, like episode 1, 2, 3. Yeah,
we're the exact same distance from 2000.
It's kind of crazy to think that the Skywalker saga has ended in Star Wars.
Oh, let's hope so. What's her name? Rain?
But they said it's done.
Like but she called her name. She called her name Skywalker at the end, which I just like. That was just terrible.
Yeah,
bad luck.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen, dude. I think Disney has to turn away from it at some point.
Yeah, you've got to. You got to. It's do something new. I mean, you got a couple of good TV shows. The Andor show was really good. The Mandalorian, 2 seasons of that were really good.
Yeah,
you know, a lot of the other stuff.
The Mandalorian was really good.
Yeah,
for sure.
And it's like a video game, man. Like every week had a side quest to get the one thing that he needs for the main quest. You know, kind of rinse repeat. But it was so good. You know,
it was a really good show. Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so
that was way off topic.
Yeah, that's 5 minutes of Power Rangers and Star Wars, guys. So if you were watching, we lost you already.
Yeah, absolutely.
But once again, jump into the comments. Let us know what you think about the Power Rangers and Star Wars. It's good times. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So again, jump in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. Interact with us. You know, we'll stop what we're talking about to answer any questions or talk about and throw you up on there so you can see what we can engage with you there. That's what this whole live streaming thing's about, man.
Yeah,
we would just record these if we didn't want you guys talking to us. So feel free to jump in.
It's true. We did it for a long time. It doesn't bother us at all.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot less pressure.
Do you remember we used to do it on a GoPro camera?
Oh yeah, that was a ticket, dude.
Yeah, we had to set a timer for every 8 minutes.
Yeah, and then we're also like carrying around little SD cards with
just everywhere,
transferring everything over.
Oh man,
the good old days.
We should do a behind the scenes episode one of these times just to show everybody like what we're looking at and everything. Be good times.
Yeah, we totally could.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into it. We'll start with the intro there. Hello, Internet. Welcome to the show. Thank you. One more time there. Hello, Internet. Hello, Internet. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the DNA Sports Recap.
For the Utah Utes, spring camp is here. What do we expect to see from our University of Utah football team?
With the Utah Hockey Club, the NHL commissioner confirms an outdoor game for our team. Let's talk about it.
With the Utah Jazz, the season's winding down. What does Coach Hardy want the team to focus on with roughly 10 games left?
In Major League Baseball, baseball is back, baby. Let's go ahead and talk about it. All that and more. My name is Darren. That is AJ. And this is the DNA Sports Recap.
Roll the intro.
What is going on, AJ?
What up? What up?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm just trying to figure out so we can
see what we're doing.
See what the frick we're doing. Here we go.
All right. Well, once again, folks, thank you for joining us on this episode of the DNA Sports Recap. As always, we'd like to get the show started with talking a little bit about college football. Before we get into that, we do want to talk a little bit about some other stuff there, so we'll get into that. But before that, most importantly, pre-show cheers.
You're like, first we're going to talk a little about this, but before that, we're going to talk about this. And even before that, we're going to drink whiskey.
That's right. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you guys.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it here. The first subject we want to talk about now, before we get into the content, we always want to remind you that we would like to encourage you to join the conversation, jump into the comments, let us know what you think about the subject we're talking about today, which in this case is going to be a little bit about some college basketball, college football. So please feel free to jump into the comments. Let us know what you think on what we're talking about here, and if you like this video, and if it's this type of content you like, please feel free to subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
Okay, so before we get into the Utes football here, let's go ahead and congratulate BYU, man. BYU basketball making it a Sweet 16 for the first time since the Jimmer Fredette era.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. And they had a couple. The first game wasn't too bad, but that second one was a pretty close one.
Yeah, Kevin Young in his first season taking over the big clipboard there. It brings the team to the dance.
Did you just call it the big clipboard?
Yeah, well, in basketball it's a clipboard, and in football it's the big headset.
Big headset.
Yeah, so it's the big clipboard, big headset.
I actually love that.
Okay,
the big clipboard. He's got the big one.
The big one.
He's just like holding like a 2 foot by 3 foot clipboard.
Not one of those little coaches in the back with the iPad trying to do the replay.
He's got a man-sized clipboard. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, so he's very impressive on this with bringing wins against TCU and Wisconsin, man. First year. VCU. That's a correct there. Text correct.
Yeah,
VCU in Wisconsin. So Kevin Young, man, tell us about it.
Kevin Young's having a fantastic season early. Realistically, this guy came into BYU and really changed the whole culture of what this program was trying to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fact is they were, Mark Pope leaves, goes to Kentucky, and Kevin Young just jumps right in. He gets a huge commitment right out the gate from Real Madrid's Igor Demine, which was one of the highest rated recruits in BYU history at that point.
Not anymore.
And then he comes in and he starts extending some other top offers, and obviously extends one to AJ Dybantsa,
mm-hmm.
and he obviously ends up committing to BYU as the nation's #1 overall recruit. Just in case you're wondering, you can't get much higher than #1 when it comes to ESPN recruits.
No.
So,
like the 6th highest paid person on the SEG payroll.
Yeah.
That includes all the Jazz players.
But yeah, exactly. But realistically, this guy, not only comes in and, lands some huge recruits, he also convinces all Big 12 guard Dallin Hall, Richie Saunders, both to return to BYU. And Richie Saunders has actually turned out to be like the star of the show for these last couple of games, dude.
Yes.
He's just come out and playing out of his mind. Kevin Young's he's just done a really good job with this program. It helps because he's got the background working with obviously elite NBA players. He's worked with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant and Chris Paul, Joel Embiid, and really he's using all of this experience, to kind of connect and leverage college athletes to come on over to BYU, right?
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's just done a really good job. And it's funny because like in a lot of his, I read a few of his interviews, and he like kind of attributes his success to being well prepared and cutting out unnecessary fluff when talking to players. Like that's like his thing.
I like it.
So
dude.
he's
That's
just
awesome.
very to the point. He wants to be direct and tell them what they can do to change it, and like just be really honest with them. And obviously it's working out because this is a great season for BYU, and I mean they got a long ways they can still go too.
Yeah, Trevor Nell, the 26-year-old senior. Did you catch this by chance? He's actually like several months older than Luka Doncic.
No way.
Yeah. We were talking about how Cam Rising on the football side, like he's been with Utah so long. His class when he came in, those players are on their second NFL contract.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this guy's actually a couple weeks older than Luka. Balling out for the Cougs. So I think that's kind of interesting. The guy's like 25, going to be 26 years old or 26 years old, something like that. With that extra year of eligibility to COVID and stuff like that, we're starting to see a lot of this. But I think that's super awesome for this team. They're set to play Alabama starting tomorrow.
Yep.
Roll Tide for my people down there. These teams, more and more I looked at, these teams were evenly matched. The Cougars get Alabama on Thursday, and if they somehow beat Alabama, they're set to play Duke in the Elite Eight, which probably is where that run's going to end there if they get past Alabama.
Yeah, Duke's a tough out for sure. Yeah. BYU had some really good shooting. They shot 50% from the field, or just under 50% from the field in their first two games in the tournament so far. But the big deficit was from the 3-point shooting, because in that first game they only shot 35%. In the second game they shot 46%.
Nice.
Now, obviously Wisconsin was a number 3 seed, which is a much different game, but they've got to make sure that they can keep, at or above those numbers at 50%. And if they can get back into that 40 plus range percent from 3-point land, they'll be just fine.
Absolutely. It's going to be super interesting, man. Again, congratulations to BYU fans out there, into the Cougars there for making it to the Sweet 16, man. Looking forward to it. Before we move on from hoops, I do want to talk a little bit about Utes, the running Utes, real quick. Okay. I don't know if you've been catching the news lately, but it has been made official. Basically, they also released the new head coach's contract, what that actually looks like.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's kind of interesting. He's making something like $2 million a year. Its base salary is like $300,000, and then all these different incentive pays and public appearances and stuff makes it up to about $2 million a year on a 6-year contract. So they're really staying committed to him. They're committed to this.
Yeah.
Game. So, which is good. Alex Jensen's a great coach, so we'll see about that. But did you hear it was rumored, but it was actually confirmed today that the University of Utah has hired former NBA GM and current Kings assistant GM Wes Wilcox to be the new general manager for the running Utes. Did you hear this?
I did see this story, but when I saw it, it was still just rumored that they were looking at at hiring him.
Yeah, so it's confirmed this morning, or earlier this afternoon. I can't remember exactly what time, but today he will be this will mark the highest ranking sitting NBA front office member to take a college job. I mean, what do you think about this, man? To me, this just kind of screams that this is Utah just going all in on the pro model, man.
Yes. And I absolutely love this, dude, because the fact is you've now got, it's like you had BYU hire an NBA head coach candidate, and you saw what that did for them.
Mm-hmm.
Now the University of Utah is doing the exact same thing. I mean, because Alex Jensen's been approached for multiple head coaching jobs that he didn't take. So you now have got an NBA head coach. You've now got an NBA GM that's going to continue to run this program. He's going to look at it from different perspectives and see how he can make this program profitable, and, fill the stands back up, make it so they can pay guys and get them in here to play and maximize the benefit of NIL. Dude, this is great. I mean, it's also awesome because we saw how fast BYU recovered from their change, right?
Quick turnaround.
Now we get to see how the University of Utah does it. Hopefully they can respond the same way and, be back into the big dance next year.
Absolutely. I mean, they're doing the Crown tournament, which is like the 3rd level down.
Yeah, it's real bad.
No one cares.
Real bad. Yeah.
But I just think the Utes were just tired, man. I think they were just tired of going to the Huntsman Center up on the hill and seeing it be empty, having to hang banners on the second row just so it makes the stadium look more filled. This team has made it to the title game in the NCAA tournament before, when Alex Jensen was on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, it's been crickets, man. While the rival downtown built an NBA level program without a response. So this is something I love to see. I absolutely love to see it. And, all props to the running Utes to continue going forward with this, man. Super awesome. Love
Yep.
it. All right, let's go ahead and pivot on over and talk a little bit about spring camp. So spring camp did open up for your University of Utah. What stands out to me is that in Witt's press conference, he mentioned the positive, energetic vibes several times in his pre-spring practice presser there. This team last year was given like heavy expectations to win this conference.
Yeah.
And with that whole year, they've had to answer those questions and to those expectations every stop of the way. And they had one of their worst seasons in 15 years with the program, since Witt's been with the program, right? So what does it say to you that this team is coming into spring ball with having finished with the expectations of being at the top of the conference prior to now being able to completely rebuild their offensive side and on as far as the offensive side the ball goes and having less of a target on their backs this year?
I think this is exactly where the Utes want to be. They've always been a better underdog team than they have been leading the pack type of team, right? The fact is yes, we're rebuilding the offense. Yes, we're going to install a new offensive scheme, but we do have a really talented offensive line. All 5 starters are returning this year on the offensive line, which puts a ton of confidence in a quarterback that's coming in from another program. You know what I mean? He knows he's got 5 guys that have all got experience. You're not training anybody up there. So it's going to give Devin Dampier a chance to really shine. And I mean, this is huge, dude. I mean, the fact is this team has a chance to go out and show that, the offseason signings meant something and make something out of them.
Oh yeah. The offense has been completely retooled on that side of the ball, looking to have a pretty well-established plan at the quarterback position. I mean, obviously you got Devin at 1, Isaac 2, Nate Johnson 3-ish. If he gets out there, if we get to that point, right, he's going to be utilized in other ways.
Yeah.
And then at wide receiver, you have a few senior transfers coming in. You got Otto Taya from Utah State, Ryan Davis from New Mexico, respectfully. Those are going to be the 2 seniors that are going to be the top dogs there. Both bringing some experience, and the latter already being familiar with Beck's offense, and Dampier's could be probably his probable favorite target this season. Speak a bit on that, on what you think is as far as how well that offensive side's come together so far.
I think this offensive side has probably come together pretty well so far, just because I watch a lot of just the Instagram reels and that kind of stuff on this team. And you can tell these guys are all already in it together, right? The fact is we've got Wayshawn Parker at the running back position, who came here and spoke so highly of the running backs coach and said that, his parents kind of passed the torch to the running backs coach. And that was why he chose Utah, because when he came here, he just knew this was the place he had to be. Now that he's here, he's kind of loving it. I think this really gives an opportunity. I think this team is going to continue to come together, and we're going to kind of watch this team come together through these spring practices. And it's going to be really fun to watch, especially come fall camp time.
Yeah. I mean, the Utah Utes have always been solid defensively.
Yeah.
Their projected defense for 2025 featuring return starters like Logan Fano, Dallas Vakalehi, if I'm saying that right.
Yeah, Vakalehi. Yeah.
Vakalehi, nailed it. First try. And they also have, this one's going to kill me, Aliki Vamahi.
Yeah.
Vamahi. That's the defensive line, right? Along with linebackers, which is Lander Barton and Jonathan Hall. Strong secondary players coming in with Smith Snowden and Rabbit Evans. Defensively, defensive toughness has kind of been the calling card for this University of Utah football team, and as long as it's been Witt's program to run, right? Whether he was the defensive coordinator or whether he's the head coach, defense has just been solid for this team. Tell me what your thoughts are defensively and what we can look forward to hearing out of the coming days with camp this year.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect Lander Barton to have an absolute breakout season this year at the linebacker position. The kid's been great already. A lot of people are really surprised that he didn't end up in the NFL. I think he probably just kind of had some unfinished business. It's really tough to be on a team that has a record like that. And a lot of these players probably kind of saw their draft stock fall a little bit because how did you impact games individually? But I would expect him to come back and have a really fantastic season. Smith Snowden is a really, really good football player at cornerback. The fact is he's now really familiar with the offense. He came back off an LDS mission. He was back with the team last year. limited reps because they did have some really talented guys out there, but I'm expecting him to be first team this year. And I think Smith Snowden's going to be out there, and he could be the next guy that Utah sends to the league, right? I mean, that he's that good.
Oh, for sure. No,
So-
I like it. I like it. Once again, folks, we'd love to hear from you. Let us know in the comments down below what you think so far on your impressions of spring camp. I know there's not a whole lot of footage out there with those guys there, but it's nice to get a chance to hear the interviews and see these guys, getting some reps out there and being on the field and working out. So super excited to see how this team comes together. I mean, obviously they do have another, what's the word, that the portal just opened a few days ago, and it's going to be open
another
up until,
window. Yeah.
So we'll see how this team shakes out, but we'd love to hear from you on that. Once again, folks, we did just launch this channel called Utah Football DNA. This is a channel specifically for your Utah football content. All of our Utah football content will be posted here first. So if you like this type of content, you want to follow what we have to say there on your University of Utah football team, make sure you subscribe to the channel and check us out. If you're watching this on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap, a link to that channel will be in the description below.
Boom.
All right, man. So you want to go ahead and pivot over, talk a little bit about Utah hockey?
Let's do it.
That's the wrong button.
Okay, try again. Let's do it. You're killing me here, David. Okay, let's do it.
All right, man. With your Utah Hockey Club, they are currently sitting with about 11 games left in the season. They have an off night tonight, but they're going to be on the ice tomorrow. They have about 11 games left this season. Utah is now sitting 6 points out from the last wild card spot, with the Blues on a 6-game winning streak. They just would not freaking lose. And grabbing that final spot against the Flames there. The Canucks are also in the way with the Flames. It looks like this team's odds for the playoffs have basically shrunk down to practically nothing, right? So
very low chances.
Yeah.
The chances are all but deteriorated at this point. And obviously keep watching. You know what I mean? Like keep cheering these guys on, keep going to the games, keep supporting this young team.
That's actually what I'd like to offer. Ask you there. What do you think this team should focus on for the rest of their inaugural season here in Utah?
Take all of these games and play them just like their playoff games. Play every one of these games like it means the world, like you still got a chance and you're still in it until you are officially eliminated from the playoffs. Give everything you have while you're out there, because yes, the chances may be slim and that's okay, but these games are going to mean a whole lot more to some of these younger guys in the years to come, right? You've got to remember how young this hockey team is. Clayton Keller, Captain Clayton Keller, is only 26.
U.S. team snub, by the way.
Yeah. Logan Cooley's only 20. Matthias Michelli's 23. Josh Doan's 22. Dylan Gunther's 21. Barrett Hayton's 24. This is a young hockey team that is out there giving it their all. They're fighting for every single win. They're pushing. They're going. The fact is these guys are still in the race this far in. This is all you could ask for as a Utah Hockey Club fan.
Oh, yeah. It was a great, so far, I was speaking like the season's over, but it's been a great inaugural season here. This is performing way better than I think even Armstrong would have expected this team to play, coming out of the gates. There's a lot of opportunity for a setback or for the team to take a step back after being relocated right after the offseason last year. So there's a lot of opportunity for them to slide, and the fact that they didn't, and the fact that they improved as a team, not only on the ice, but kind of gelled off in the front office. It was mentioned there that Bill Armstrong feels like what the media members that reported on Bill Armstrong felt like he was having to operate in Phoenix with one arm tied behind his back.
Yeah.
The SCG group, they opened the purse strings a little bit. There's still a lot to play for as well. I mean, we still have, I think, 4 out of our 9 free agents, upcoming free agents, still have something to play for our team next year. You know? So it's not like, I mean, we'll see if they stick around with this team or not, but there's still a lot for them for the people on the ice to perform for. And it's still, still a great time, man. I'm super excited about this Utah Hockey Club, and I'm really looking forward to what they do in the offseason. I know we still got 10 games left and there's still a lot of hockey to play, but knowing that they're out on it, I can't help but reflect back on the season and think you can't argue that this was not a successful season.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, this team has gelled and they've clicked, and we've seen that, it's been a roller coaster because they've been really great and then they get bad and then they'll have a great run, and you walk out there and I mean, sometimes you're watching and you're just like, this team's got a shot. And other teams are just like, yeah, no, we're cooked. This season's over. But that's been kind of the fun that's made this team worth watching. And I don't know, it makes me really excited to watch hockey next year.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Other subject we have here we want to talk about when it comes to the Utah Hockey Club is it was announced earlier this week, the NHL commissioner all but confirmed that the Utah Hockey Club is going to be getting an outdoor game in the near future. Gary Bettman states in an interview with the SCG Media during the SCG Plus broadcast, Utah is going to get an outdoor game, and it's going to be great because I know the reaction from the community is going to be as good as we have ever seen. Now you have some more info on where this game potentially could be played and some details on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the biggest potential venue closest to Salt Lake City, it's got to be outdoors, Rice-Eccles Stadium.
Right.
I mean, it's obviously it's a no-brainer. I've seen some floatings of Lavelle Edwards Stadium. I think it's too far from the fan base that is probably mostly downtown Salt Lake City. But I mean, Rice-Eccles Stadium, the only problem that you have with scheduling a winter game in Rice-Eccles is the college football playoff now runs all the way through December, right?
True.
So to try to find some temperatures where you can keep ice on the field and B, not have a college football game there.
I don't think that's really a problem because the Kings have had a game in Dodger Stadium.
Right.
So, and that's like never drops below 60 out there. So, it's going to be.
That's kind of crazy, huh?
So there's got to be a way for
they must have something to keep the ice. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that makes sense.
But anyways, I mean, Rice-Eccles Stadium holds just under 52,000 people for football. And you'd have to think that they could get a few more seats in there with a hockey rink versus a football field. So
basketball stadium versus a football field.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of people. And the fact is after this whole season, the state of Utah has shown that they love hockey. They continue to show up every single week to support this Utah Hockey Club. It's been apparent from day one. We went out there and sold more beer than, the Delta Center had ever sold in
the first game.
Yeah, the very first game. So
it was actually sad because it was dead last in beer sales for anybody who has a hockey team.
Correct. Yeah.
But it's still impressive for this state, for sure.
But really, if you plan an outdoor game at Rice-Eccles Stadium, it is going to be, and mark my words on this, one of the best environments that any NHL player has ever played in. Because Rice-Eccles Stadium is loud, the fans will be rowdy, and it'll be a spectacle for everybody that attends that game.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Guarantee it's going to be huge. And the commissioner did confirm that he's sending reps up there to check it out to see if it'd be a viable site for it.
Yeah. So, yeah. And there's no official date for the game yet. But I mean, obviously with the commissioner's comments, we've definitely got pretty good reason to believe that it could come. I mean, as soon as next season, right? Yeah. I mean, this could be happening. This could be real. What an awesome time to be a Utah Hockey Club fan.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it, man. It should be a lot of fun. Unfortunately, no beer sales that day, though.
Boo.
Yeah, that's the only thing I think about. If it's at Rice-Eccles or Lavelle Edwards Stadium, there's not going to be any beer being sold during those games. So
the Utes sell beer, though.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
There's no beer sold at University of Utah games.
For real?
Yeah, they're not sold on. You can't sell it on a college campus.
Huh?
On Utah, anyway. You've been to plenty of Utah football games. Have you ever bought a beer at a Utah football game?
I guess I thought I had.
No, that's what we call the tailgate.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's funny.
I guess it's also, I'm usually a little tipsy before I get to the game.
Yes. That's probably.
And then I always bring alcohol into the game.
Whoa. Don't want to put that on it. We're going to have to cut that part there. Jeez. Trouble there. Greg Hawkins, channel legend Greg Hawkins, no beer at the Utes game, dry campus, tailgating only.
Thanks, Greg.
And even that, if you get busted with it,
I never remember.
Yeah.
By the time I get to the game, I never remember.
I thought I had beer, but before once there too. Yeah. Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's a great way to raise
exactly
revenue.
My point. I was like, I'm sure.
There is actually a lot of talk about that being changed, just simply because Utes is hurting for that NIL money. So they're thinking about starting to do beer.
They're like, we can fix this.
We can fix this right quick.
Real quick.
You want to do $400,000 in sales every week? Like, let's just do some beer
once a week.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
How it works. We want to hear from you folks. Let us know what you think in the comments down below when it comes to your Utah Hockey Club. Are you excited as we are about the upcoming season? Did you think this season was a success? We'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. Let us know what you think. Also, as a reminder, folks, Utah Hockey DNA, this is a channel specifically for your Utah hockey content. All of our content for your Utah Hockey Club will be posted here first. We'd love to hear from you. Jump in the comments. Let us know what you think of the channel. Let us know if there's any subjects you'd like us to cover, player profiles, coaching profiles, strategy. We'd love to hear all that. So jump in the comments, let us know what you think. Make sure you smash that like button for your boy AJ right over there.
Boom.
And subscribe to the channel if you're interested in this. And if you're enjoying this type of content, we'd love to hear from you.
Please do.
All right, let's go ahead and pivot on over and talk a little bit about the Utah Jazz.
Okay, Darren, I didn't know it was going to happen.
Like shade talking on set. I love it. I love it.
Especially between sets.
Yeah, it's great. We got like 7 seconds between segments, and he's just talking mad shit.
I'm still talking shit between them.
It's great. So your Utah Jazz really isn't much to talk about with the Utah Jazz, but we are a Utah Jazz podcast, so we do need to come up with something to talk about. This is what happens in this time of the year. I saw really
especially for this type of team.
Yes, exactly. So it's not necessarily been the best year for basketball in the state of Utah, but what is worth discussing for this for this Utah Jazz team is the return of Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs to Salt Lake City. That was super cool to see them come back. I mean, the Cavs are the top seed in the East right now, riding a 4-game losing streak coming in to Salt Lake City after following up a 16-game winning streak prior to that. Did you realize that? They won 16
in a row, yeah.
Before they went on that little slide there.
They were killing it, dude. They looked unstoppable.
And then lost 4 in a row, and then they came in here and got right back on track there with our team, giving the Jazz just a good old-fashioned whooping there, 120-91, man. What do you think about this Spiders return to Salt Lake City, man?
I mean, anytime Donovan Mitchell comes to Salt Lake City, I think it's kind of a cause for celebration, man. I think that Utah Jazz fans forgot that we watched this guy literally grow up, literally blossom right in front of our eyes, right? He came out in that first game. There's a late scratch. He comes onto the floor and scores like 13 points in his first career game. And his trajectory just kind of skyrocketed. He blew up. All of a sudden, he's got a shoe deal with Adidas, and he's putting out 2 or 3 shoes a year. He makes it to the NBA All-Star game as a slam dunk contestant, wins a slam dunk contest. And all of a sudden the Utah Jazz, after that horrific offseason and losing Gordon Hayward, and everyone was heartbroken.
Remember that offseason?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, the offseason was horrible. July 4th, Gordon Hayward, thank you for ruining my 4th of July that year. I still remember it to this day. But during that same time, what I also remember was seeing Donovan Mitchell posting on Facebook and Instagram, hey, where's the party at?
Oh, yeah.
And this dude's literally posting videos of going to just random people's parties as a 21-year-old kid. Like, no one had any idea that he was going to be a $300 or $400 million contract player.
Yeah. Yeah. He really did kind of screw the team by re-signing with the Cavs for that Supermax, but that's good, man. Like I've got a pair of Donovan Mitchell shoes. I've got
the Dons.
Yeah, I've got I got some Donovan swag myself, and I really loved watching this guy play. When there wasn't that much to be excited about for the Utah Jazz that first year, he was must-see TV. There was some crazy dunk, crazy highlight that he did that made this team worth watching during that first year. And yeah, they made the playoffs, and they won a playoff series. Was it the first year or the second year?
The second year.
Second year, yeah.
The second year is when they won the playoff series.
And and then we had Donovan Mitchell, we had Joe Ingles, and Joe Johnson, a young Rudy Gobert.
That might have been the first year then, because it would have been the year that Joe Johnson was there. That was the year we beat the Clippers in the first season.
Yeah.
So it might have been that first one. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, rocking our brain there. We can't look it up. It's not like we don't have a way to look it up. But
we don't have any devices that we can just jump on and search.
We just can't be bothered with it. Spider did score 16 points, 2 steals, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds in that game. As far as that goes, man, Donovan Mitchell, well, he just looks happy to be on that team, man. He just looks like he's comfortable. It looks like he's really gelling with that team right now, and it all looks pretty good, man. I'm excited for him. I hope that they do well in the playoffs because, Donovan Mitchell has been good for one round of victory in the playoffs and then kind of losing after that. They got a good start to being the second best record in the NBA.
Yeah.
Right now. Best record in the East. And, with Jason Tatum's uncertainty right now going into the playoffs, it might be a
door wide open for the Cavs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
To get through. And then they're going to run to the buzzsaw that is the Western Conference. But, I thought it was crazy. I looked at it earlier today, and there are 3 teams that are outside of the playoff bracket on the West that wouldn't even have to be in the play-in tournament on the East.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's that big a difference. Like it's crazy. But we'd love to hear from you folks. Let us know what you think when it comes to Donovan Mitchell's return to Salt Lake City and how he's liking the new team, man. Him re-signing with the Cavs really hurt those draft picks. So we just never thought he would re-sign there,
Yeah. No, I saw him going to New York for sure.
Yeah, but they got they didn't need him. They got Jalen Brunson. So undersized guard.
That's a tough. Yeah, I mean, which underside guard do you want?
You don't need 2 undersized guards. Which one's going to be cheaper, Jalen Brunson or Donovan Mitchell?
And the answer is Jalen Brunson all day, every day.
Yeah, exactly. So it's very interesting. But one of the things we also wanted to talk about when it comes to Utah Jazz this week is there was an article on KSL and also on where I saw it, which was on SI.com, is that Coach Hardy wanted the team to focus on one thing the rest of the season. Did you see this article?
I did, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the fact is I lost my point of view, and it's not. I wrote my whole thing, and then I forgot to write what the article was actually about.
You got it. Okay, I'll take care of it. So, Coach Hardy did mention that there is one thing that he wanted this team to focus on for the remaining of the season, and that is just intensity and relentlessness. Yes, the 2 things that he really was. I think it was intensity is really what he was wanting to focus on, and after that, getting dump trucked by who they just lose by like 42 last night.
Oh, but. Memphis.
Yes, Memphis just railroaded us.
That was really rough.
And you could just hear Coach Hardy just going after the team, and his post-game comments just weren't too happy. You could tell he's definitely frustrated with this team in this situation. And I thought it would be good to kind of circle back to this article and kind of revisit it. It's got to be tough, man. The guy got his extension, and he knows that this team is not trying to win games, and he's having to do the new tank thing, which is basically when you're getting close to the game and it's time for crunch time, yank all your good players out, put in the bench players, and make sure that they lose the game.
Yeah.
You don't want, they're not trying to lose the game, but you're trying to coach these young players up to be better. And, hopefully they don't and they lose the game. So it's got to be tough for him as a player, as a competitor to do that. And the fact that he's still trying to make sure this team focuses on something while, because trying to lose is, bringing in the losing culture is not something you want on a professional team.
Yeah.
And you can see Coach Hardy's really trying hard to avoid that.
Yeah. And I think, so it's funny because I did read the article. I just kind of spaced because I was like, oh, well, this all tied directly into intensity, what I have to talk about. But I mean, and the fact is like with the intensity, right? Like the injury list keeps growing and we're in a very the injury list keeps growing and we're in a very obvious tanking situation. We all know what's happening, but what we can't overpass with all of the stuff that is happening with this team is how important all of these opportunities are for every one of these young players. Kyle Filipowski, Cody Williams, Isaiah Collier, even Kenyon Martin Jr. I mean, we can go as far as Keontae George. All of these minutes and their ability to keep the intensity and the focus that Coach Hardy is looking for is what is going to dictate whether they are on this team next year.
I would not be surprised if they bring back Martin.
Oh, I think they will.
Like
I think they're trying to give him a good run. Did you see that horrific 3-pointer that he shot up that was missed by 6.5 feet?
It's like a LeBron 3.
Dude, I've got a 6-year-old that can shoot better than that.
Nice.
That can get it way closer. So Kenyon, if you need some advice, my little dude, give you shooting lessons.
Nice. In the backyard.
I do have a hoop.
Really sick backyard.
Yeah.
I've not been invited to come shoot at. But
just saying, I do have a basketball court in my backyard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably invite you guys before you invite me to it, but that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys want to come over, let me know. Darren, you didn't hear that.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Just like the Forever 22 game, being invited this year.
Oh my gosh, we're on this second week in a row.
Just saying. But yeah, so when it comes to this, man, I agree with you, man. There's some players on here you got to give a look at. We'll talk a little bit more about the players that basically next week. We'll talk about that. Who's been impressive, who's been disappointing so far this year. We'll talk about that in a future episode. But yeah, man, I think that what the coach is trying to do is still lay into that intensity and let them know that, yeah, hey, we may not be winning games and the front office may not want us to try and win games, but while you're out there, you got to put this kind of effort, this kind of lack of effort just is unacceptable. And you guys really need to push hard and make an effort. So you absolutely love to see it, man. I love to see that from your head coach. one of the bright spots that we can have. And make sure there's a couple of reasons why you want to get out to a Utah Jazz game this year. Do you remember those two?
Yeah. A, tickets are super cheap because we suck. And B, concessions are like $2 everything.
Oh, no, you're missing it, man. We put out 2 videos in regards to this. The first reason why you got to go to a Jazz game this year is this is the last year that the Delta Center is going to be like this. The Jazz are going to have to, the Delta Center is going to have to refigure the Delta Center to better fit a hockey rink. So we're not having objective views. So this whole player on top of the the fans on top of the court experience that we've had here in Utah for the last 30 plus years is going to go away.
Yeah.
So you need to get out there and watch a Jazz game for that reason. And secondly, you need to get out and watch a Jazz game because this is the last year we're going to have, how about them Jazz calling the games on the court side?
Yeah.
The PA announcer is retiring after this year, and he's been there every year since the Utah Jazz have been.
They've had one PA announcer the whole time
since before I was born, and I'm old. So be sure to get out and check out a Jazz game while you still can. There's like roughly like 11-ish games left, something like that. So make sure you get out there and check out a Utah Jazz game while you still can, because it will be over before you know it.
Also, like I said, cheap tickets, cheap concessions. Go check it out.
For sure. All right, let's go ahead and pivot on over and talk a little bit about Major League Baseball.
Let's do.
All right, man. So, hey, baseball is back, baby.
Wait. Ugh. Baseball's also not red, Darren.
Oh, well,
green, like the field.
There you go. I like where your head's at there.
Yeah.
It's very nice. Very nice. So let's go ahead and talk Major League Baseball, man. We've got a few things we want to talk about, a few things we want to cover today. We do have our way too early predictions for the season. So when we talk about our Cy Young, our MVP, Rookie of the Year, that kind of stuff, who's going to win the World Series, all that type of stuff. But you guys are getting bombarded by that right now. So what we're going to do with our content is we're going to give it a week or two.
Yeah.
And then we're going to, after we see how the players
and
are
we'll
playing,
count on all of you to watch our videos after we post them.
That's right. Because I'm going to have a little bit different take on mine than I did last year. So it's going to be a little fun. There are a few subjects we did want to talk about when it comes to that. When it comes to Major League Baseball, opening day is tomorrow. And just a few things we want to touch on before we get on to that. And the first one has got to be Marcus Lynn Betts, man. Mookie Betts.
Mookie.
Yeah. So Mookie actually had a chance to suit up for a game yesterday. First time.
Yeah.
In like a long time. Mookie did not travel with the team to Japan. You heard about the story at all?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to get into it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Mookie is battling a mysterious illness that has caused him to lose nearly 20 pounds and left him unable to eat without vomiting. So like you mentioned, Mookie has missed the Tokyo series and a couple other spring exhibition games due to this illness that the team doctors have kind of been unable to identify. Mookie kind of describes it as his body is kind of eating itself due to his inability to keep any food down. So he's frustrated. He's got to be, feeling a little bit down because, a lot of these preseason games are a chance to really knock some of the rust off and get back into shape. What's your thoughts on Mookie? What's going on? How are the Dodgers going to be okay without him? I mean, all of these are Dodgers fans got to be wondering.
Yeah. Well, so are the Dodgers going to be okay without him? Yes. They proved it last year. They were out without him for like 3 months when he broke his hand.
Yeah.
Fortunately enough, this is a team that does have 2 other MVPs on the top of the lineup.
Must be tough.
Yeah, it is rough, man. It is rough. We're gonna have to, But if
Braves.
In Japan series, they didn't have Mookie Betts or Freddie Freeman in both of those games, and still kind of looked like they were in full control of those games. Sorry, Greg. But when it comes to that, it was yes, this team can handle Mookie not being ready. I actually didn't think he would be suiting up for the rest of spring training or be in this. I thought his first time back would be when they play with Atlanta, when they host Atlanta. I thought that'd be the first time he actually plays because I didn't think he'd come back and try to get some reps in a spring training game.
And you wouldn't think they would want to rush it back in any way, shape, or form.
No, the dude was 178 pounds, now weighs 153.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of weight to lose. And just to go out there and just take swings. And he didn't look right. He looked a little light. He's 0 for 3, in the game that he was back. So I was surprised to even see him back. And they did announce the lineup, and he's in the lineup tomorrow. So he's going to be playing. So my original thought was that he would take a couple series off and then kind of get right, try to put on some weight and get his timing back. But no, he's going to just start swinging.
So he's just got to head straight to Wendy's, get you some chili cheese fries, a couple baconators.
There
You can
go.
get 20 pounds back on real quick that way.
Yeah. I can. I know more than you know on that one.
I do love me a good baconator. I wish we were sponsored by Wendy's.
Oh yeah. Well,
you know what I mean?
Wendy's, like, hook it up, dude.
Yeah, seriously.
You know where we're at. We'll have a couple of Frosties on set.
DNA Sports Recap at gmail.com.
Exactly. Hit us up. But yeah, so I don't know, man. I think the Dodgers are gonna be fine. I'm more worried about Mookie long term. You know, this is a guy who's constantly in the MVP like candidacy every single year. In fact, he was a front runner in the National League before he got hurt, even ahead of Shohei. So last year.
Yeah.
So for him going down, and he's like really trying to get that MVP in the National League so he can be another one of those players on both sides to get an AL and an NL. So we'll see. I don't know, man. Like, I don't think it's good for him to be playing, but if the doctors say it's okay, the team's physicians say it's okay, and he feels ready to go back in, then go for it, man. I just hope that they just watch it carefully, because now's the time where he's going to get injured, like pulling a hammy or, you know, doing something. He could get hurt trying to do too much right now.
I think one thing you got to remember is Mookie Betts is one of the best athletes on the planet.
True.
You know what I mean? Like just purely straight up athletes. For 5'8", 122 pounds soaking wet that he is, the dude can absolutely crush a baseball. We know he plays a ton of other sports. Like, he could have done so many things. So I think, you know, as a fan, you just got to be trusting Mookie's opinion. If he's feeling good enough to go back out there, he's trying to get out there and get the rust back off, right? Going 0-3 is not as concerning as you think, because this dude's going to get back into shape. He's going, you know, yeah, of course he's not, you know, at the end of spring training ready. He didn't get those games.
Right.
But you got to have faith in Mookie that if he's feeling good enough to get back out there and he's going to get his way back on, he's going to be just fine. The Dodgers are going to obviously just be just fine. Go Braves. But, you know, we love Mookie. Obviously, he gets better and is ready to go for the season.
Yeah, my only concern about Mookie is that he's starting in a new position this year. He's the starting hardest position other than catcher on the field, shortstop for the Dodgers.
He's going to be fine.
Like, it's not like he's out playing right field or second base. He's playing shortstop, man. Like, and he hasn't played there since like high school. So, and then he's coming off of losing 25 pounds.
Did you miss the Mookie Betts is one of the best athletes in the world?
I know. I'm just saying this is not the way you want to start this.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Especially because if you're a half step slow at shortstop, it could be a real bad day real quick. Yeah,
you're a half step slow in right field. You're 3 steps slow in shortstop.
Yeah.
So, no, we'd love to hear from you folks. Let us know what you think in the comments down below when it comes to Mookie Betts there. Do you think his illness is going to slow him down? Obviously, we think so. We want to hear from you. Let us know what you think in the comments down below for sure. Before we get to the next subject here, which is always going to be a fun topic to talk about on this channel, let's go ahead and hit a comment here. We got Greg Hawkins jumping in. Baseball is back, baby. 90-win Cubs season incoming. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'd love to see it. That'd be great, man. I'd love to see the Cubbies come out of that division. You know,
yeah, absolutely.
The NL West the NL Central. It is definitely a winnable division for them too. And I think they've done enough over there with the, you know, Kyle Tucker and some additions that they also made there, as far as they also signed a bullpen arm, and I can't remember who it is, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what they did. I want the teams that do something and make some moves to be rewarded, you know. I'm just excited for fantasy baseball. Yeah. I just saw my team, and I'm just like super excited about it. I didn't realize that. I don't know any of that stuff, so I got to figure it out. But it should be fun. Dude, your team is amazing, though. I thought my team was stacked. Yours is looking good. That's right. That's why you want Mookie Betts to perform well. He's on your team. Damn right. That's why I needed to perform well. Mookie, don't let me down in fantasy, bro. That's great. We also got another comment here from Greg Hawkins. Fantasy baseball is going to be great. Yeah, man. That's right. Thanks for the invite, Greg. Appreciate it. Absolutely. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in and talk about our next subject, which is, something you don't necessarily always want to talk about on the day before baseball, but a lot of storylines going along. We didn't want this one to fall between the cracks because this is always a great subject for this channel, so we're going to talk about it. MLB has officially handed down their suspension on Julio Urias. Do you have the breakdown of this? Yeah, absolutely. So Julio Urias made Major League Baseball history in all the wrong ways when he became the first MLB player to be suspended twice under the league's domestic violence and other policy. So, I
I kind of was like skipping around there in my notes. I had too many bullet points there. But Commissioner Rob Manfred announced that Urias is suspended until the All-Star break following the investigation. To kind of break down the timeline, he was arrested September 3rd in 2023. He pled no contest to domestic battery in May of 24. And he had also had a similar violation in 2019. So that he was released by the Dodgers or placed on administrative leave. And the whole thing about this is the speculation comes that the only reason the suspension would even go into effect is because Urias is trying to return to Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
It's the MLB's joint domestic violence, sexual abuse, and child abuse policy, by the way. That's the full.
Yeah, it was really long.
Yeah. So what do I think about this? I honestly, man, again, you said it yourself, man. This is the second time. He's the first one to ever get hit pop for it twice. This is something that I don't think anybody signs him this season. There are a few teams that are desperate right now. The New York Yankees need a starting pitching, and he's a great starting pitcher. He did lead the league in wins in 2021, led the league in ERA in 2022. Did not pitch in 2000, had a bad year in 2023. He was hurt most of the year, so he did not have a good year that year. Did not pitch last year, and obviously won't pitch for the first half of this year. But I don't think anybody signs him this year, although there will be some desperate teams. I do think that there are some teams out there that if he still has good stuff and they're desperate enough for starting pitching, as the story goes, for like a couple weeks. And then, what will happen is they'll basically say, okay, well, we'll sign him. And for a couple weeks, it's going to be an issue. We're going to have to deal with headlines and people boycotting games and stuff like that.
Then you just hope it dies out.
And then it will die out.
Yeah.
For a player like this, it will die out. I mean, there are some bad dudes that are still in this league right now. You got Domingo Germán, who was given another chance with the Pirates last year. He wasn't any good and now gone, right? Chapman is pitching for the Red Sox. He just got signed with the Red Sox. And if you Google his name, there's a lot of questionable things in his past as well. So I don't think anybody's going to give him a shot this year. And I will say that if someone does give him a shot, like, it's going to be a desperate team. But I hope that no one does. That's just kind of my thing there. But if someone does give him a shot, that makes things for our guy Trevor Bauer very interesting.
Very interesting, because you get to the point where somebody has now been suspended twice. How is Julio Urias compared to Trevor Bauer stuff-wise?
Well,
talent-wise, who's the better pitcher in your opinion?
Urias.
Urias is?
Yeah, he's a better pitcher.
But I mean, Bauer's probably not far behind him, right?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I just think right now, if Urias, he's 28 years old, Bauer's 34?
Yeah.
So, stuff right now and the ability to get better, Urias has the opportunity. Dude, it's okay. Here's my case, right? My case for Bauer is that Trevor Bauer was never charged, and he was shown that this woman was targeting him. His accusers were targeting him, right?
Absolutely.
Urias has been now suspended twice, as you mentioned, and was charged, and there actually is video evidence of this assault. Like, you can actually look it up and see what he did. So that kind of makes it hard, right?
Makes it real hard to deny. Yeah. And he didn't deny it. He just pled no contest to it.
Yes. And then did you see Trevor Bauer's response to the guy?
No, I did not.
Oh my gosh. You get a chance to look for it on Twitter there. That Dan Clark guy that we added that was talking about it last time. And then Bauer went and responded saying there's like 20 batters that I could not beat.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like that same guy put out the same thing, and then Bauer responded to it. So if you get a chance, check it out. But yeah, so my understanding of this is that in that case, Bauer's in a great position to come back. But as far as to two pitchers, my case against it, and my case why Urias would be a safer bet than Bauer is that my case is that there's a lot more than just the charges. I've said several times on this show that if it was just for the assault charges, Bauer would be back in Major League Baseball right now.
Right.
That's not the reason why he's out. Urias will make a public apology when he gets signed. He will do that to get back in the league. Trevor wouldn't. Trevor refused to. Urias wouldn't have this circus around him that Trevor Bauer comes with. Urias is not trying to do a live vlog from the dugout and from all training, stuff like that. And you also got to realize all the other stuff that is a hindrance on Trevor Bauer, which is going to be all the times he disrespected the league while he was actually pitching. Julio Urias did none of that. He just kept his head down and pitched, right? And, if you need me to reminder, he disrespected his manager by throwing a tantrum on the mound when he got pulled from a game by throwing the ball over center field.
Yeah.
And then he immediately got traded to the Reds after that because they just were not having that. And then he also didn't he disrespected his team by not taking a playoff series start and messing around with a drone the day before his playoff start, cutting his finger, which was messed up the rotation really badly because he's a huge contributor to that. And keep in mind the Cleveland Guardians were in the World Series that year, and having a pitcher that's dealing with a stitched up finger and not pitching right. You basically just kind of effed your team.
Game over. Yeah.
Yeah. You kind of screwed your team over by not taking your start so seriously and playing with the drone beforehand. These are some of the kind of mistakes you just don't make. And obviously mouthing off about the sticky stuff. Then when he was realizing nobody was listening to him, use the sticky stuff to win a Cy Young and then complain about it the next year when they start cracking down on it. These are kind of the stuff that is negative against Trevor Bauer that a lot of people don't realize that are there outside of the charges that have now been bold. Urias has none of that, Now, why I see the Dodgers will not touch either of these players because they've both been burned by these teams. Urias getting suspended right before the playoffs started when we desperately needed a pitcher. And then obviously Trevor Bauer, we paid him $60 million just to not pitch for us. So that's great. I do hope the rest of MLB stays away from Julio.
Yeah. I don't see anybody even considering this, especially because you've got to be thinking that Rob Manfred is like, he knows that if somebody signs Urias, that the Trevor Bauer door is opened at that point.
Oh, it should be already open. The suspension's been lifted for him.
Right. His suspension's lifted, but it's not because nobody signed him. And it's not that he's not talented enough to be in the league. It's because teams are not going to take that risk. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But with Julio, I think Trevor's not going to have, teams are going to have no reason to not sign Trevor at that point.
I just gave you all the reasons not to sign Trevor.
I know, but still though, if this is the reason, I know, but it is though.
No, it's not. The assault charges have nothing to do with the reason why Trevor Bauer is not in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Because every other player that has been suspended underneath this policy has gotten a shot and came back. Trevor Bauer is the first one that has not. And so it tells you that it's not about that. It's not about this. And this is coming from a guy who's a supporter of Trevor Bauer. I believe that Trevor Bauer deserves a shot at Major League Baseball again. But do I believe that Julio Urias does? Absolutely not. This guy just literally sidestepped $200 million contract. He could have been this generation's Fernando Valenzuela. He's a Mexican-born pitcher in an area with a lot of Hispanic fans, Mexican-American fans. And he basically flushed all that away and a $200+ million contract simply because he just did unspeakable deeds. And I think he deserves no shot in Major League Baseball ever again. Trevor Bauer, I think he deserves a shot in Major League Baseball again.
Yeah.
I feel like he was unfairly targeted by this woman. And I think he just had a lapse in judgment. Just need to have better company around him, right? And have people around him that knows, hey, man, you shouldn't be dealing with these kind of people. You really need to keep your company
distance
tight.
yourself. Absolutely.
Yeah. I just think that's the only thing that Trevor Bauer did wrong. Now, can he fix it? Absolutely. But he's, not taking the steps to do so. I hope he does get a chance to play Major League Baseball again, but man, that window is shortly closing.
Especially at his age.
Yeah. I mean, he's still good. He's still got the stuff. Looking forward to watching him pitch in Japan. But yeah, I agree with you though. It will be a little bit of sus. It will raise an eyebrow or two if Julio Urias gets a job in Major League Baseball and Trevor remains out. It'll just further confirm the fact that it has nothing to do with the suspension.
Absolutely. I think that's kind of my point. Is like maybe that's what I was trying to say, is like it really just confirms that is not what's going on here, right? Like It has nothing to do with his suspension previously.
Yeah, anybody thinks that it has to do with his suspension and everybody's saying Trevor did nothing wrong, all that stuff.
Yeah. Look
at the policy. He broke it. He even admitted to it in his own text. He broke that policy. And the fact that he won't ever admit that is another reason why he's not in baseball. But, to me, that's kind of the thing there is if anybody thinks that's the reason why he's out of the league, this will just further cement that because, first of all, Julio Urias, I think if you're going to put a gun to my head on it, if you're going to make me answer that question, does he get in? I would err and say that he doesn't. I don't think he ever pitches again.
Yeah.
It's a privilege to pitch in this league. It's a privilege just to make millions of dollars playing a kid's game. I don't think he gets a shot. Do I think Bauer gets a chance? I think so. Does he deserve a chance? I think so. Do I think he gets it? No.
Excellent.
Yeah,
I love it. No.
We want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below what you think in regards to the Julio Urias suspension coming down from Major League Baseball. Do you think this will affect anything regarding Trevor Bauers' chances on coming back in the league or not? We'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. As a reminder, folks, this challenge did just hit 1,000 subscribers. Once we get $500 in AdSense revenue, we'll be giving that back to you folks. 5 subscribers are each going to earn $100 each. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that giveaway, and smash that like button for your boy AJ right over there.
Boom. Yeah, and if you're watching on YouTube on one of our short videos, just know this is available, the whole episode, as a podcast, wherever you get your audio.
With all that said, my name is Darren, that is AJ, and this has been an episode of the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time.